Good afternoon, Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, and all the cabinet colleagues of Meghalaya, Chief Minister himself. Chairman CBIC, Secretary, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Chief Secretary of Meghalaya, and all officials, both of the government of Meghalaya and also the banks who have come here today. I understand the community chiefs, the community headmen from various parts of Meghalaya are also here. A special thanks to them for having come here. It will be my honor to address you all. Farmers and also the FPO groups, particularly those which are led by women themselves. I'm indeed very honored to be here. Very many specific mentions were made by the Honorable Chief Minister in his very passionate speech. But what I see as a very clear message from the Honorable Prime Minister in his focus on the development of Northeast is the way in which not only the many visits of the Prime Minister himself and of the cabinet ministers from the Union government in the last 10 years, 11th year this year, 11th and entering into the 12th, have made to this region, personally committing themselves for the growth and development of the Northeast. It doesn't just reflect in the various infrastructure projects, but also in the way in which government schemes are taken to a saturation level. Today you had some beneficiaries receiving checks under the PM Mudra scheme or PM Employment Guarantee Program or many other. But when these are in an indicative fashion showcased before a large audience, it is only to show and to demonstrate and to prove that these schemes are not just benefiting large industries. They are actually benefiting the small people who are doing their small businesses, who do not have money or land or building or any gold to offer as security. They are people who want to do their business, earn something more to keep their families going. But if they don't have securities to offer to the banks, banks never considered their proposals. But since 2014, you have Prime Minister Modi who openly said, if our banks cannot fund small entrepreneurs, small shopkeepers, small vegetable vendors who come to streets to sell their produces, but who are not able to do it because they don't have that little capital available to them, how are we going to support our citizens? So in a public meeting, in fact, I think it was even from the Red Fort that the Prime Minister said, I will be the guarantee for small businesses in this country. Banks shall not ask for any security from them. So many of these small loans which are given to small businesses, whether under PM Mudra scheme or Swanidhi scheme for street vendors in particular, and then the PM Vishwakarma scheme, which comes with 18 different trades which get training on the trade, advanced skills, and also complete kit which is given to them to carry forward their business. And during the training, get paid also so that you're not losing your wage there and coming and spending your money to get yourself trained. So well thought through programs, so that small businesses, small entrepreneurs get the support and we take it forward so that no one in this country feels neglected. No one in this country thinks that even though they want to build their businesses, they have no support mechanism prevailing around. All those apprehensions and all those fears have been dispelled. And that is why when I do these programs, I insist on at least a few people receiving in front of that state's chief minister, like now the chief minister of Meghalaya. Before him, we give these checks to those businesses which are small, but yet banks are lending to them so that their businesses can be taken forward. The reason why I'm elaborating on this one particular principle of Prime Minister Modi's governance is he says that he understands the pulse of the common people. He designs schemes in order that the common people benefit from them. And in implementing, it is not just lying in the files, it actually happens in the ground. And that doesn't happen only in and around Delhi. It happens in far-flung regions. It happens definitely in the Northeast as well. So these are only token gestures which I'm showcasing, but actually from the banks, everybody who approaches them does get that assistance. So the large principle of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas that Prime Minister often repeats is getting in the ground benefits reaching to common people. So that is why these small examples are being put before you. But during this program, I want to highlight, you saw it being showcased there in the on the screen, as to what are those institutions which have been brought to the Northeast. Of course, it takes a lot of effort from the state government also, and your chief minister has been repeatedly taking up these very important messages, and therefore you see in the ground institutions coming. So what are those institutions today? Foundation stone has been laid for redevelopment of the Umiam Lake, and this is, we repeat very often, SASCI funded. It is a state assistance, which are special assistance, which are being given for capital expenditure for the states. It means that you get the money for 50 years without having to pay any interest on them. And after 50 years, as was explained by the chief minister, what you get today and what the value of that money would be after 50 years is a different story. And whether at that 50th year, the government of that day would say, all right, it was given, it's taken as a grant, you keep it, we don't know. But we are not going to ask you to repay that, nor ask you to give any interest on that. Take these monies and build capital assets. Now, this started post-COVID, when Prime Minister Modi said, we should help states to revive after COVID. So the economy recovery is dependent on states' recovery as well. So no good if central government spends money on capital expenditure, but some of that should go to the states. And that is why from 2020-21, we are giving capital assistance to the states so that they can, without, some portion of it comes without any condition, some portion comes with nudging the state to undertake reforms so that you're getting your records digitized, your land assets are all digitized and documents given to people, meters are provided so that electricity benefits and reaches the right kind of beneficiary, and so on. So this SASCI, as a capital amount going to the states, is not a part of the Finance Commission's recommendation. I'd like to keep this on record before eminent citizens here. Central government will have to honor every core recommendation given by the Finance Commission. You have to devolve this much amount to the states every month. On the 10th, on the 20th, you have to do this. You have to give this much for disaster relief. You have to send this much for the municipalities and the elected bodies, and so on. That is anyway followed to the last word. But beyond that, Prime Minister Modi has been a chief minister in a state and he knows what is the difficulty for states. And that is why since after COVID, he said, Never mind, you're doing everything what the Finance Commission has recommended to you, but I want you to help the states so that they can build capital assets and revive, because when you build capital assets, local employment increases possibilities, and also the core sectors benefit. You'll buy more cement, buy more steel to do the project. As a result, those industries and people working on them will benefit. The spillover effect, what we call as multiplier effect, will be lots more than giving money in the hands of the people. You get employment generation, the whole economy reels around these kind of activities, and therefore the revival will be holistic. And that is actually showing results. And I will put on record my appreciation for Meghalaya's efforts in making sure it is fully utilized. SASCI is given on a kind of a formula, which is, the formula is given in general for tax devolution by the Finance Commission, but we use the same formula as to how much should go to which state and so on. Some states, for whatever reason, I'm not blaming them, are not able to utilize it in full every year. But here we have Meghalaya using its quota full and saying, if you have some more spare money, give it to me. I have reasons to spend. And every year there is this request coming, give me more. Having fully utilized what is already given to them, they ask me, and there are times I'm holding back, saying there can be other states saying, what's happening with central government in Meghalaya? You seem to be giving more to them. So, if the state government puts its heart and soul together, you get a lot more benefit, because there is an avenue legitimately to utilize what is there for the states to utilize. You need an efficient administration. You need an efficient delivering on the ground of projects, and that's why this morning I was shown all the SASCI projects from far and on record. You're seeing it now. So I'll just list it out before you. A project or a scheme which started after 2021 till today has seen in Meghalaya this many projects coming as a result. So you have the Umiam Lake redevelopment at 99.99 crores. You have a MICE infrastructure, that is for large conferences, meetings. When people come to Shillong, you can invite huge, big, corporations to come and say, you want to have your annual general body meeting, come and hold it in Shillong. They would say, we wouldn't mind coming, but where is the infrastructure? Now you have the MICE, which is going to be built, large conference halls, meeting places, catering to their needs, will attract a lot more such agencies, and even G20-like meetings can be held here. So you're having MICE infrastructure, which is coming up, completely funded by SASCI, and at a project cost of 99.99 crores. That is Mau Khanu. I think the foundation stone laying has happened. Again, a football stadium proposed to be funded again by SASCI, and that is at 732 crores. Working women's hostel in Shillong, which is going to again help a lot of women who come to work in the city to have a hostel for them. 75 digital libraries, which has also got inaugurated today, already constructed out of 750 digital libraries which have been sanctioned. And you have the residential, office cum residential. This is not SASCI, but this is something again where central government's institutions, like the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. Now I'm also talking about having the foundation laid for CBIC, Central Board for Indirect Taxation and Customs, which also takes care of GST, having its office come residential complex, a major large establishment coming in New Shillong. That's a project completely funded by the central government at 256.23 crores. Then I mentioned about the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, first of its or one and only, let's say, IICA outside of Delhi being established in Shillong. That's about 100 crores. Then distribution you saw of beneficiaries of NPS Vatsalya, Swanidhi, Mudra, and so on. And SIDBI gave term loan of 21 lakhs and grant support of CSR initiatives for 16.9 lakhs today. Here, before you, if that is one day's work for the Northeast by Prime Minister Modi's government, you see the attention being given to the Northeast for not just the short term, but for a long term. And this is the commitment with which we from the Union government are working. We believe in taking people together, whether it is the farmers, small farmer, FPOs that are displaying their products, whether it's exporting these products outside of Meghalaya, taking them all over the world, and making sure that value addition to these projects or products also happen here. So without taking more of your time, I just want to say that it was an NDA government which started a separate department for Northeast Affairs. And that was under Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji when he was the Prime Minister. Separate department for the Northeast was established in 2001. We seriously mean that Northeast should get the attention, the investment, and the commitment from Government of India, and that was formed then. So then we look at Northeast as not just the Northeast as a region, but it stands for, I think, empower, act, strengthen, and transform. And that is why there's so much of attention given to the Northeast. As Ashtalakshmi, I think there's a lot of importance. 91 projects worth 1,239 crores have been completed, and 35 projects worth over 1,000 crores are ongoing just in Meghalaya. This is under the Northeast Special Infrastructure Development Scheme, which is since 2017-18 launched. PM Divine, which is a 100% centrally funded scheme announced in the Union Budget of 22-23. I still remember the day when we announced it. There was such a euphoria that lots of attention is going for the Northeast, and rightly so. 3 projects worth 496 crores are ongoing in Meghalaya on the PM Divine. Of course, there are Uttar Purva Transformation Industrialization Scheme, which is also announced by the 2024 budget. So there is just a lot of things which is being undertaken everywhere in the Northeast, not just in Meghalaya. I'm happy to be here. Particular data which I'd like to mention is 540 kilometers of national highway have been constructed since 2014 in Meghalaya. Optical fiber cable coverage in Meghalaya has increased 5-fold since 2014. So if I have to read out the data on those particular smaller businesses and households, I would seek your indulgence if I can just list out for Meghalaya what has been extended through Jan Dhan Yojana. 8.64 lakh bank accounts have been opened in Meghalaya. Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, 5.5 lakh have enrolled for life insurance cover, and that is a subsidized life insurance cover given by the PM Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. PM Suraksha Bima Yojana covers nearly 1 lakh who have got accident insurance cover. PM Awas Yojana has provided 1.5 lakh houses for those who so require it. Jal Jeevan Mission, which takes Ghar Ghar Pani, Nal Se Pani, Nal Se Jal, 5.3 lakh households which are in the rural areas have been provided tap water connections, and rural tap water coverage has increased to 82.85% as of July 2025. Just only 4,550 rural houses had tap water connections in 2019. Swachh Bharat Mission, which is for rural areas, gave 3 lakh plus people, rural household, which received toilets built for them. PM Ujjwala Yojana, where subsidized cooking gas reaches homes, 3 lakh or over 3 lakh households have been provided LPG connections. Jan Aushadhi Kendras, which give affordable medicines. There are data about each one of the medical or the medicine which is sold out of Jan Aushadhi Kendras, where people getting medicines for life for chronic illnesses used to spend somewhere like 2,000 rupees per month. I'm taking just a random example. 2,000 rupees per month are now spending only 600 rupees a month. That is the proportion of decrease because of the generic medicines which are available in these Jan Aushadhi Kendras. Ayushman Bharat has given medical coverage for more than 20 lakh citizens in Meghalaya. Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, which gives free rice for the poor, has supported more than 21 lakh beneficiaries. PM Kisan supports 1.8 lakh farmers in Meghalaya. So I wouldn't go further to speak about roads, bridges, and others. The total, I think, on the SASKI, which is used for building capital assets, which is a 50-year interest-free loan, the total which has been given to Meghalaya since 2021 till today is 5,400 crores. I would think for Meghalaya, there's more to do, but I'm happy that is the amount which the government of Meghalaya has used effectively for building capital assets, which I gave you a list of it. There is, of course, a lot more to be shared, but I like to share something which the Chief Secretary here mentioned to you, which I had mentioned earlier in the meeting which I attended, which is something which we have learned a lot from the Northeast. The Northeast has given us, in its own wisdom, a lot which is important for us to follow. Let me just get that page. I had some difficulty in pronouncing it, but I will still try. Thank you. These are some core values which I have taken or I've imbibed, which are essentially, if I'm right, Khasi. So Khasi, Jaintia, and Garo. Khasi people, in their local wisdom, have given something which is absolutely essential for today's development, particularly when globally we are talking about sustainable development. In the G20, we spoke about one earth, one family. We also speak about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The entire world is one family. We also say sustainable growth and climate action. Unless these values, which Khasi people have given us, are imbibed in every one of our policy making, so that we respect people, we respect communities, we respect the environment, we leave the environment as pristine as we've inherited for the future generation, and above all, be ethically conscious and remain to showcase our integrity, both of purpose and of values that we hold. So I was very hesitant, but I wanted to say that this is a message which I've imbibed from the Khasi people, Pardon me for my pronunciation, but I like to take this opportunity when the entire cabinet of Meghalaya is here. People of Meghalaya are before me. I'm taking a risk in my pronunciation, but I utterly value these 5 great principles. They are very consistent with what India and globally all of us are doing. Ka tip brew tip blai. I don't know if it's making sense. Ka tip brew tip blai. If you want to know God, know man first. Meaning, to know man is to know God. So if you really are keen to live your life with the blessing of God, live with knowing man. So I salute Kasi people for this one brilliant guiding wisdom that we've heard. The second, ka kamai ya ka hok. I hope you're not laughing at my pronunciation. But ka kamai ya ka hok is very important to me. You earn righteousness. Meaning, doing business with integrity actually resonates with the core of responsible, sustainable business practices. So we are trying to build businesses, we want FPOs, we want to sell our pineapples, and we want to reach the world with all the great artisanry that we've got here. But we also have to earn righteousness for all this to succeed. And that has to get infused in the policy making that we do. So that is something, again, I bow to the Kasi language for having given that virtuous line. The third, katip kurtip ka. I hope I'm all right. Respect for kinship and community. So unless the essence of what all of us are doing is reflective of the respect that we have for our relatives, for our people, for our community, from where we grew, from where we learnt our values and virtues, what use is it if I succeed? So, ka tip kur tip ka. We have to respect kinship and community. And again, thanks for the wisdom of the Kasi people for having come up with these golden words. The next, ka balang, balang ka imlang. I'm okay? Ka balang, ka imlang. Meaning what you do should be for the common good. You cannot be so righteous, or you cannot be so clever, or you cannot be so successful that you succeed, but you succeed at the cost of somebody else. You succeed, but your community gets nothing out of it. You succeed, but it's not for the common good, it's purely for your selfish good. No, Kasi people have in their wisdom said, do what is for the common good. Of course you do for your good as well. But do for common good. It's a foundational principle, which is what is today's sustainability, shared prosperity. You get all this from the Western world today. They tell you that every policy, unless it is going to be for the common good, we shall not fund from the World Bank, we shall not fund from so and so and so on. In very many different ways they say it. But isn't that the wisdom of the Kasi people? Is it something new for us? Didn't we know about it? But when it is being reminded, we have to doubly remind ourselves that that's all right. We respect that. But our people have said it here in the Kasi land. Our people, our headmen have told this to every villager. Our people have said this among one another. Our youth may be in a hunger to move forward so that they can achieve their goals. But the wisdom of our people cannot be forgotten. We have to remind ourselves that wisdom of Kasi language. And the final point is Me Ramyu May Ramu? May Ramu. Ramayu. And there's something else, one more bit. Ki rinko ki basa. Reverence for nature. Absolutely important in this day and age when we are talking about climate action. There's no point if we forget to respect nature. That's what has given us the blue sky, the green, valleys, the mountains with the wonderful trees, the wonderful freshwater streams, the lakes, the beauty of Meghalaya, the clouds. You're passing through clouds every day. What fortunate people to live in Meghalaya. Breathing fresh air, drinking water which quenches the thirst. I cannot but every time I drink water in Meghalaya say this. Water quenches thirst in Meghalaya. There are places where I drink water, it fills my belly, but no, thirst is still there in my tongue. Beautiful state, beautiful people, wonderful blessing of the nature, and that's why you have said in your language, respect nature. Mai ram you, ki rinko ki basa. Wonderful message. I'm sharing your message to you. Pardon me if it is some kind of a transgression, but this is what I think I would take away home, because these are messages which are very relevant for today's governance, and the ancient wisdom of the people of this land is relevant even today for all of us. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.